Right now, strong storms are moving through the eastern plains. It's a rarity this late at night. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Christensen.
And I'm Phil Lipoff. This is a live look right now at Lyman. We are watching the area east of the metro really closely right now.
The town of Wiggins, about an hour north and east of Denver, got some big hail tonight. Viewers sent us these pictures and video of the stones that dropped within the last hour or so. 9 News senior meteorologist Chris Bianchi joins us now. Ooh, Chris, some people are getting it. We're wondering who else.
Yeah, a lot of the eastern plains getting those strong storms right now. The threat not over for the Denver area either. I suspect within the next hour, we'll see some storms close to the next east metro area develop. I'll show you why in just a second. Severe thunderstorm watch till 1 a.m. But Fort Morgan, our camera here, actually just got knocked out within the last half hour because of some really strong storms that produced, as you saw, close to baseball-sized hail there within the last hour. Those storms now moving off to the east, and a lot of lightning out over the eastern plains. Some of this trying to back its way into the Denver area. I'll show you that again in just a second. But I want to start things off with this strong storm in eastern Morgan and southwestern Logan counties. This storm has a history of producing up to about baseball-sized hail, now producing some heavy rain. Lyman, a lot of lightning out here in eastern Colorado as well, I should say in eastern Albert County and western Lincoln County right now, and that is going to continue to produce some of that lightning and flash flooding and even some hail over the next hour or so. Might notice this little rush of wind here. That is an outflow boundary, another one coming in from the south. These are going to collide. That may force the air to rapidly rise and condense into some stronger storms here within the next hour. So East Metro area, things have been quiet in Denver so far, I know, but East Metro in particular, you have a chance for seeing a stronger storm within the next hour or two, and then things will clear up by tomorrow morning. But then another risk for strong storms tomorrow and again on Thursday. I'll tell you when things finally quiet down and we get rid of the severe weather. I'll tell you about that in just a few minutes.
A fire on the western slope is forcing people from their homes at this hour. The Dry Creek fire started south of Rifle this afternoon. Fire officials estimate it's burned about 290 acres. Garfield County Sheriff's Office issued some evacuations as a result of it. Firefighters have attacked it both from the ground and the air. At this hour, it's not clear what caused the fire.
Business and homeowners in Arvada say they've been dealing with unplanned power outages over the last couple of weeks.
9 News reporter Janelle Finch joins us now after Janelle talking to some frustrated XL customers.
Yeah, we reached out to XL with questions about how widespread these outages may be. They weren't able to answer that tonight, but we had at least 5 different people near 64th and McIntyre in West Arvada tell us the power's gone out multiple times in the last 2 weeks.
Predictability is appreciated when running a business. Regular customers, working technology,
cheers. See ya.
And being able to operate. That hasn't been the case at Mile High Wine Cellars in Arvada.
We're at their mercy, so.
Owner Mark Crowder says a higher power has been calling the shots. He says over 2 weeks, electricity has gone out at least 5 times.
Everything shuts down. The coolers are off, the computer's off, point of sale doesn't work, credit card machine doesn't work. So we can't do any sales.
Monday night, he says another outage hit him just before close.
Blindsided us.
That same outage affected Kent Lindholm while he was making dinner.
Well, it just seems like every time we turn around, the power's going out.
He says this was the 3rd time since Saturday.
It's inconvenient. And we worry, of course, how long it's going to be out for, whether we're going to be losing stuff in the freezers and the refrigerator. And
Lindholm says he didn't hear from Xcel Energy before or after an outage. The company says above ground power lines in the area are under enhanced power line safety settings due to elevated fire risk. Xcel says power lines may be more sensitive to shutoffs if an object comes in contact. Lindholm isn't sure how his home would qualify.
This area right here, there are no above ground utilities. It's all buried. And we just can't see the reason for it.
Xcel says they're actively reviewing equipment settings in the area to make sure they're working properly.
You know, you just sort of roll with it and pray it comes on quick.
These are automated messages from Xcel notifying a customer about outages and when the power would be expected to be restored. According to these messages, recent outages impacted her 5 times in 1 week. One day, she was notified twice. She says she's never gotten a message ahead of an outage. Janelle Finch, 9 News.
Barry Morphew's case will be back before a judge tomorrow. A status hearing is scheduled in Alamosa County. Barry is accused of killing his wife, Suzanne. She was reported missing from their home in Chaffee County on Mother's Day, 2020. He was arrested for the first time nearly a year later. He was about to stand trial when prosecutors suddenly dropped the charges against him in April of 2022. Then in September of 2023, Suzanne's remains were found in Saguache County. Around this time last year, Barry Morphew was arrested again for her murder. His status hearing is set to start at 3 p.m. tomorrow.
A disgraced former state DNA analyst is headed to prison. Today, Missy Woods pleaded guilty to 4 felonies, a deal that will include time behind bars. Woods worked on more than 10,000 cases during her career at the Colorado Bureau of Investigation. She also testified as an expert witness in more than 600 times. In 2023, she was accused of manipulating test results, deleting data, even falsifying reports. Prosecutors filed 102 felony charges. Today, she pleaded guilty to 4 of those counts in a deal with prosecutors. They included cybercrime, perjury, attempting to influence a public official, and forgery. The plea deal requires the judge to sentence Woods to at least 8 years in prison. Her sentencing is scheduled for September 8th. Tonight, the Erie Town Council is considering whether to sell the town's mineral rights for an oil and gas project. And if that sounds familiar, it's because the same thing was up for a vote just 7 days ago.
Last week, the town council rejected the sale after pushback from people who live in the town. 9 News reporter Rachel Krause is joining us live from Erie again this week. Now, where that meeting is underway, residents back and forth again. Rachel.
Yeah, guys, it's like deja vu. Just 1 week after the public pushback on Erie's plans to sell its mineral rights to SM Energy to drill the Draco well site, tonight they are back in front of the council once again, pushing for that same stop to the sale. Now, this is coming back around again because a key no vote last week, Councilmember Brian O'Connor asked that the measure be reconsidered. And if residents were frustrated about this before, well, a lot of them are just plain mad now. Now, Erie Town leaders say they were first approached last year by Civitas Resources, which later merged with SM Energy in hopes of acquiring Erie's mineral rights within the Draco oil and gas project. The Colorado Energy and Carbon Management Commission has already approved the drilling area. Now, because of a state law that took effect last year, that prevents operators from drilling into oil and gas owned by municipalities. Erie has mineral rights in the Draco well site, and the town's own website says because of that, they have a say in the matter and how drilling moves forward. But those in favor of the plan moving forward believe this drilling will happen anyway, and the town of Erie might as well collect some cash on those mineral rights. It's a platform the town's consultant, a former oil and gas exec who put the deal together, has been touting this week on social media. And a lot more people in favor of the proposal came out tonight. Mayor Pro Tem Brandon Bell says he's for it, so Erie can see some good from this.
I think this is a simple situation where SM Energy, they're going to be moving forward with the Draco project no matter what happens. And this is a chance for us to be able to get some compensation. Our minerals are really worth nothing if this moves forward without this deal.
But not everyone agrees. A lot of people say the way the town council made decisions in executive sessions raises red flags, and they don't understand why the council is moving at this faster pace. It's why Councilmember Dan Hoback is voting no.
Mostly because most of our residents are pretty firm no's. I've known that not just from the input we've received over the last several months, but campaigning through 3 elections, knocking on doors, and people don't want us to engage with oil and gas.
Now, if it goes through, Erie says they'll get $4.5 million in cash, nearly $14 million for land, and between $19 and $31 million for royalties for mineral production. Public comment that went on for hours has ended. Now, council members are giving their statements on how they're going to vote on this. The redo vote is expected to happen soon. Reporting live in Erie, Rachel Krause, 9 News.
Rachel, thank you. The longtime home of 2 leaders here in Denver is the city's newest historic landmark. City Council voted this week to grant that status to the home of Wellington and Wilma Webb. The house is on North Gaylord Street near City Park. The Webbs have lived there since 1971. Wellington Webb was Denver's first black mayor. Wilma served in the State House and helped establish MLK Day as a state holiday before it became federally recognized. The city says the couple made political decisions and established a legacy of community leadership in that home. They say the home is physical representation of their lasting contributions.
Denver is one step closer to pushing back the time when bars are allowed to let out. Last call for alcohol wouldn't change, but a new proposal would allow bars to stay open until 4 a.m. The proposal advanced out of a city council meeting today. The city's Department of Licensing and Consumer Protection believes a later closing time would reduce congestion and fights and provide other non-alcohol related activities for the night owls. The police department's on board, but not all the bar owners.
We do believe that it will have an impact on the safety in the area, in the Lodo area, in the ballpark area.
For most establishments, alcohol sales are the primary revenue stream that offsets the increased costs associated with late night operations.
The proposal will head to the full council for a vote in a few weeks. If it passes, it would take effect April 1st.